things are not much better than they were 30 years ago, 30-something years ago when the story takes place. We have a lot of work to do. We have some soul searching to do as people, and I feel like the work that Bryan Stevenson has been doing is incredible. He's dedicated his entire life to this one cause, and the least that we can do is try to support him as much as he can.
It's really exciting because I think this amazing cast has brought the humanity and the dignity of the people that I've been representing for 35 years to the forefront. You hear about people wrongly convicted, unfairly sentenced, but you don't actually get the abuse, the trauma, the cruelty that creates. And so I'm really, really excited that people will get some proximity to that and hopefully be motivated to do more when it comes to expecting greater justice on the planet.
First, you got to look up the facts, and then you have to be aware of the spirit of who you're portraying. And you have to know, how would Anthony react to this? How, is this an Anthony type joke? Does it pay respects to who you're working for? And it is, you're not a character, you're playing a real person. It's a layer of responsibility that keeps you on your toes as an actor, and I know I love it.
It's important to humanity, I think it's important to my community, to our communities, yeah, man, I have the luxury of playing make-believe every day. This guy, Bryan Stevenson, goes to the Supreme Court, monthly, to fight for justice. Still pro bono taking cases, inmates on death row. When you have that type of example, that exists, when you get close enough to this person, if you don't feel like you want to get involved in the help, I think there's something wrong with you, So for me, I ran towards it, and I'm going to continue to run towards it.
I play Anthony Ray Hinton, who is a man who was wrongfully accused of a murder and sentenced to death row in Alabama for over 30 years for a murder he didn't commit. 16 years in, he got a ballistic specialist to prove that the gun that they pinned on him didn't match the bullets, and still no judge would look at it, and he's had to spend an extra 14 years on death row. And the film Just Mercy is about Bryan Stevenson, a man who saw this happening to countless amounts of people and decided he wanted change, and had to go through all the loops, all the roadblocks, and prevailed, and has helped over 100 people get off of death row. And that's a real life hero when you think about it.
What do you think the people are going to walk away with?
A sense of how we need to continue to examine what justice means in the United States of America. This isn't about racism in the past, it's about racism right now.
I think the biggest challenge is trying to make the person you're portraying proud. It's a lot of emotion that I know in my life I never had, to the scale of being on death row for 30 years. So it's about finding the core of the spirit and really everything that he had to deal with, and portraying it in a way that pays respects to all of his sacrifice.
How does the process change when you start working on, say, a smaller film like Short Term 12, something like this, which is a huge studio film?
It doesn't really feel any different. We don't know what we're going to do, and the goal is just to make it true and to make it human. And so luckily the cast is obviously mega on this movie, but they're all super down-to-earth people who are on this project because they know that we have a crazy problem in the shadows of mass incarceration and people of color and people of poverty being treated different in our criminal justice system. And so we're kind of coming with, I think, a humility of how can we help and how can we make something that brings a story out of the shadows,
Kind of interested in how, for yourself and the job that you do on a film, how early you're brought in. So you see the script and then you start plugging away, or is it something that comes after shooting's completed?
For something that I care about this much, I start as early as I can. So I started working on music for it about a year before they started shooting, just to get some ideas going, because I was willing to spend as much time as it took to just make sure it was what it should be. I'm just totally honored to be a part of Bryan Stevenson's universe and wanted to make sure it was true. So on this one, we spent a lot of time, yeah.
Oh, I went to him. I got a chance to spend a lot of time with him. I've always had an activist, pioneering type spirit. So to be able to kind of like show that through my work, through my art, I think was a blessing. Be able to use my platform, to be able to create other opportunities, to be able to take this story and put it out on the masses, I thought was really cool too. So I'm just trying to do my part wherever I can. No really set plan, just trying to do what I feel is right in the moment and try to make those best decisions.
Am I going to see you as Killmonger or Morpheus next? Are there any truth to the rumors about you playing Morpheus in a Matrix?
You know, they're rumors, man. I don't know. Like I said, I'm down. I'm not messing with you. No. But like, it's always flattering to be, caught up in these rumors and stuff like that. You've been around for a lot of them. Yep. But we'll see how things shake out. Right. Who knows?
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey